Alright, another two Berserker games here today. One of them's really fun, and that's this one. Which is kind of... It's fun because the flow of the match is really stupid. And I'll show you guys why, and I'll talk to you a little bit about momentum in games as well, as far as I understand it as we go forward. So, yeah, coming out the opening gate, we're obviously on Legacy, so we've got the Lords to play with. We've got... 3 nodes to push. We take our Ranger on close, which is all well and good and fine. I'm still not checking too well whether they're like Soul Beast or what. I don't know. There's even some side nosey build, Soul Beast builds around at the moment, aren't there? Anyway, we see a guy stealthed, so we're concerned we're going to get jumped. We're standing back here. You can see he is indeed pushing towards us, so we want to watch, but it's been difficult for him to get all the way around, and obviously he's deep in our territory now. This is our advantage to hit the Mesmer if he comes any closer. There's still the Necro at play as well, though. So I jump forward. We see that the Axe guy swings at me, so I want to watch out. Lots of Condis on us. 15 Confusion, 9 Torment, even some Bleed on there too. The Confusion sticks about this time, which is pretty unfortunate, but all I have to do is not utilize too many skills. We take a single Bull's Rush, step back a bit. This guy has been hungry for me the entire time, and this is a good classic situation here. I've shown a lot in Season 1, and I'll show here as well. This is a terrible play, what this guy's doing. It's so pointless to chase me here. He's never going to get that kill. I thought he'd turn around at this point, but he's still coming, and the reason he'll never get the kill is because I can just go to the gate here and just bait him in. And even worse, if his team's actually doing well without... Basically, here's why it's a lose-lose to push like this, right? If his team doesn't need his help, in which case he's pushing, it's a bad play because his team has scored kills, which means I'm about to have respawn assistance, so he'll be outnumbered. If his team is doing bad, then he's not helping them by pushing here. So it's lose-lose to do this. You might think, oh, yeah, I forced the warrior, or whatever it is, whatever it is your aggression to the gate. You might think, oh, that's really good, I forced them back, but we're just paired off, right? We cancel each other out. We are 0, and that's not a positive play. And all it's like a neutral play that's put you into bad positioning behind my team that could turn around and slam. If you watch yesterday's game of the day, you'll see what happens when your Firebrand Scourge and stuff aggress whoever, basically backline for you like that. So it's just a bad play. There's nothing good about it whatsoever. I come into the gate. I get hit way harder than than I normally would as well, because I hesitated and went back. We know that that's a clone. This will be this guy, and we can just walk back forwards. Now, he stealths here, and based on how hungry the guy's been, I know 100% he's going to come back at me, or 90%. So, as soon as he stealths, I come back here. I got 2 dodges. We see the second thing here, and we realize, yeah, he was still pushing at us. We kite away from the mage. It doesn't do anything. And I mean, why fight someone at the gate? Like, especially on a comedy build. There's no point. I come back through, and so our team is actually securing kills up at mid. I think there's a rally race in progress right now, so I'm keen to get up there. But I'm happy to pair this guy off, right? I mean, I really don't mind. Also, remember, we are on rifle, and we can swing it around on this build in particular and blow someone up. We take the random shot, but obviously it doesn't go anywhere. And look, his team's losing at mid. Now he comes in, but late, and I just come in too. So, yeah, I mean... we come in with the Rampage. We take some pressure. We get hit pretty hard by the Mesmer again. I'd foolishly mendinged earlier, which did give me extra pressure, but it wasn't the best thing in the world. We kill their Necro. We want to do this quick before our Necro goes down. You can see it's super low over there. We could kind of delay and go for the rally, but whatever. Now their Ellie's down. We've got their Reaper that we can push next. We just need a little bit of adrenaline. We get it from the dodge roll. There's the Great Sword F1. The Mesmer's down here as well. I'm in a double well, so I need to move out. I dodge out of the wells and the Elite at the same time. We turn around for a quick rifle butt here, which if it landed would have been perfect. Line up for the kill shot, the Gunflame afterwards. Didn't quite get it, but he didn't dodge anyway. So we Gunflame, we take the volley. He's back into Shroud. He's getting a lot of Shroud generation here at the moment. So we just kite away so that we don't get hit too hard by it. And then, yeah, from range, we can just kill shot. And we're done. We got close, we got mid, and we've already got our Ranger pushing fast, so that's good. And he got the neutralization. So now I'm standing up on this ledge because this is the enemy's base, and I can see whether they come this way or this way. A lot of the game is this, standing positions like that. I see it's the Mesmer already. We throw the Great Sword out. The Ellie's there as well, funnily enough. So we just cripple him. We see the stealth come in. We balls rush away for evades because we know we're going to get jumps. Look, he used his torch 4 and then straight into his 5. So that's the mage. We kite it down the stairs. It's going to spend ages. And then it hits me anyway, which was actually really annoying. I didn't expect the AI to be smart enough to do that. I thought it would have turned around. But no, it actually utilized that properly. Anyway, so we try and hit the guy, but he's running Reflect Distort. So I actually reflect my skill 2 onto myself. Miss my own Gunflame. Luckily, though, our ally's done really phenomenal here. So we can get the kill. And then I notice that he's really low. So I immediately go for Rampage and CC's on the remaining Tempest here. Who's getting absolutely murdered. Because obviously now that Mesmer's in down state, it doesn't matter. We get loads of juicy interrupts and a perfect time on the Rampage skill 3 there as well. I want my guy to leave now. I think it's totally pointless what he's doing. He doesn't need to attack that body. He can just leave it. I can leave the other one. We can get double rot value. Now, maybe he's attacking because he wants Shroud and stuff, but honestly, it's frustrating to me. And then he pointlessly walks in range of the Ellie. He's not doing it for Shroud. He just welled that body. What? And now he's coming back again. It's like, what's the point? I mean, that was for an Axe 2, which definitely you could say Shroud. And then I mess up. In my furious nerd rage, I didn't even notice that I hadn't full capped. So now we push up. Take a quick glance to the side to make sure we're not getting decapped. This guy's coming at us. Now, this I don't like at all. This is just going to stall for ages until I die, so I just immediately come back. Like, that's me knowing my matchups now on the build, and that was pointless for me to go over there. Let him decap it. There's not much I can do. Rifle butt that guy away. This is a kill we can go for, obviously. This time we do the dodge, but we land the chill to the bone anyway. And when I try and target Stomp to get away, which I could have done instantly, right? We've been hit really hard. The only reason we have, though, is because I got no line of sight on Stomp because I accidentally moused over the edge of the ledge. I really got to put YOLO mouse on, man. I saw a Reddit thread where someone had all the different things for Guild Wars installed at once. I need to follow that guide and get YOLO mouse. It was so important, especially on the 5 rank queues. Anyway, so here we're going for the kill and we're really close. He dodges the Gunflame, which is a shame. And then I realized that the Mesmer's on me. So again, we balls rush away, right? It's all about kiting. And if I know this Mesmer from earlier, he's going to be really hungry for it. Thing is, we're too fast for him to catch. And we have two... we don't have great cleanse and great Condi resist, but we've got enough to just continuously push away. So here we can Rampage, and beautifully, that Druid that came and I ignored before, well, he's now rotated off. So this is us having played the map very well here. I can take a kill shot, and if we crit, it will be good. So there you go, nice 11k hit there. I'm a little bit late with the dodge there. Take another mending. I don't want to 1v1 this, because it's pretty... Yeah, I've explained on a previous... game of the day, this is a horrendous matchup for me. I can slaughter these guys in team fights when they're a little bit distracted. I've got a little bit of assistance, so there's definitely opportunity against the Mesmer, but you don't want a protracted 1v1. Maybe on this map and on these nodes you can kite around in some interesting ways, but I don't want this, so I leave. And what's beautiful is this guy is so greedy. He's not even recapping that. So essentially what I've done is kite a guy out of the mid fight, neutralize and pull through. It's beautiful. And you'll see the immense lead that our team has for this now. There I turn around and I really don't think I should have. And especially not that, which is really punishing. I take the mending. I'm under my allies. I take the F1 here. So going into Berserk cleanses, which gets rid of our blind, which guarantees our F2 will land. So, boom, we can do that, and we get the kill with a beautiful 11,000 damage on the F2. And the other game I'm going to show you today is awesome as well. Now, here's the funny thing. What this guy had done is torch 4 and revealed himself. So, that second packet is actually on a delay. So, even though he's dead, full dead, because we've hit him so hard, the burning procced even from his down state. So, I just fall down dead afterwards. And these guys can res me. They weren't watching very closely. All right, so this is the state of the game. It's kind of a boring game, right? Because it's been too easy. But what you'll find now is how we play this. We get too complacent. And one thing I actually love about Guild Wars 2 PvP at the moment, and with the way that people are playing and stuff, is it's really not unheard of to completely lose the grip on the entire game because everyone just starts messing about. Like, at this point in my mind, I'm not even expecting to show this as a game of the day. So there he gets a beautiful Warhorn 4 to daze me right before my greatsword. So I stomp him. I'll get back to that comment in a second. Then he evades out of the greatsword again. We rifle butt, kill shot. He's got no shrouds. Straight into the volley, and he's dead. Very clean kill. That's a good example of what I've been talking about with Reapers. Reapers are very simple to kill as long as you get a little bit of open sight. We dodge the fear from the downstate and move on. Yeah, so it's really not unheard of for people to just completely mess up. And that might feel bad for when you're the winning side that then messes up. But it means a lot that games aren't binary things that are decided by the first team fight, okay? It means a lot. And so, obviously, the opportunity for that to happen is very different based on whether you're with pre-mades in ATs, high-ranked, low-ranked queues, or even unranked. Obviously, the odds are going to shift massively. But, yeah, so we'll see how this queue goes. It's still looking pretty good. I think this is the game I think it was. So I'm just watching here, not pushing towards the gate. I could hit the door, to be honest, at this point. I have some time to do that. But, and hitting the door's kind of nice as well on this build. There's certain, plays that you guys should understand about the doors that really help you out. Necros, you can go hit the door to give yourself life force. I can hit the door to give myself adrenaline early. Thieves, mesmers, anyone with targeted ports, you can, like if you're a sword thief, you can, and you're trying to kite away, you should always have in the back of your mind that you can target it, like, not particularly here, but at the other node, right? At the enemy's spawn. Or if, you know, it was our spawn and turned around facing us. If you're trying to kite away, you can target the gate and use a quick sword too to give yourself that extra bit of gap or, you know, whatever. So, just little things like that you want to think about. I guess I am bored now. So, here's me. I no longer have my head in the game. Let me just be 100% clear. I'm just hitting the door because I think it's over. Now, what we're watching Game of the Day here, and I won't keep it paused too much, is we actually just lost far and they've hit mids pretty hard. And my Mesmer's AFK, if you can see, at the base. Not doing anything. He's just being pinged. So, we're basically 3v5 right now. I'm letting my team die at mid because I'm not focusing. Just hitting the door. And what I'm hoping is someone on respawn will come out and I can attack them with all of my adrenaline. I may even be alt-tabbed at this point, guys. Why am I showing this? This is so bad. This is so on me. Ranger comes in. The Mesmer starts moving. We lost mid. I mean, it still looks pretty fine, to be honest, right? Because we've got sides. But now, look, we're even getting decapped by the enemy. I'm going towards their lord for absolutely no reason. They have someone AFK over at the lord, I guess. Is that what I see there? Yeah, they do. See, look, people have given up. Look, you got to understand, my mindset here is not to win. And I think this is a good thing to demonstrate. So here, I don't know how to fight lord on this build. So what I think will be interesting to try is getting them all around here and then using the greatsword cleave. So that's the idea. But the mobs CC me. So here I've got 5 stab now, but I'm in the wells, which will transfer it. So the mobs CC me before I can really do the pressure. So I realize, oh god, I'm going to die. I get my allies coming in. And I'm like, alright, should we go Lord then? And now I've kind of like baited us into a completely unnecessary, premature, foolish Lord rush, really. We kill it and we win the game because we're at 400 points. But I don't really have any confidence we'll get it. So, you know, I'm particularly concerned about this. And the guy leaves as well with me. So, you know, it's a 2v1 under all of their mobs, and their mobs are actually really kind of annoying me here. And I've not done very well taking them out. So, yeah, and now you just noticed a Mesmer stealth and the other Necro here. So, all of a sudden, it's like, oh god, we've been completely hammered, and I spent this time dicking about at the Lord, and we've been 3-capped as well, like, right off the bat like that. This is also awful kiting away. 2 different like, separate occasions there I was targeting the wrong person. And, you know, what a throw, right? And this is really down to me. And even worse, there's now 2 of my allies going in there. But that's not an advantageous position to Lord. They have equal numbers there, at least. So, yeah, just dangerous stuff. We will win this game, but... I kind of just, I don't know, I think it's an interesting game, so that's why I'm doing this on Game of the Day. It's interesting to show that you take your head out of the game and you just think, oh, it's over, it's done, for even a moment, and it can swing back. So just be very cautious about that, because it's extremely frustrating, obviously, and especially if you're the one that causes it. As you can see, I am here. This is a 2v1 that I'm alright with, but not particularly happy, because... I mean, he's going to kite around a lot. We are on the mid, the largest mid node in Conquest. Here we could have rifle butted him away first as well, but he face tanked everything anyway. And he's dead off node. We know that he's dead off node there. So we can hold that. Mesmer's in again. Chaining evades. Pulling away. The Mesmer might go to res the Ranger. We actually did, and I don't really have any opportunity there. Going up onto that ledge was bad. I should have cleaved the Ranger straight away. Much harder, especially with the pet coming up and whatnot. Big misplay from me there, to be honest. And I even kited up towards a close node that I had an ally picking up. I should have known if I'd been looking at the minimap. So we stand off node, and I'm all right with this fight here from this position because nobody's harassing me, and I can get quite a lot of a reasonable amount of AoE pressed out. This is not a particularly high DPS build, just for what it's worth. It's a bit too flighty to really consider that way. It's got a good spike, and it's got good CC and good downstate pressure, but, you know, it's not going to compare to, like, a Scourge or whatever. This will be, like, a 400k damage game, while a Scourge would be on 600, you know. It's kind of that ballpark. So here there's an interesting play I'm making. He's stealth stomping, so I actually take the burst through it. And then what I was going to do also is blindly rifle butt over the body. But I'm now outnumbered. We get the heal off right before the elite, which I personally think I was out of range of, but whatever. And so now we need to kite. We got to be very careful with how we kite here, though, because we got to keep the lines of sight dead. Now that guy's really low, and we want the kill, but obviously this person's lined back beautifully for him and has prevented me scoring the kill. There is no opportunity there. I see that he's coming back in again, though. Like, I agree with so little of what this person's doing. They could just leave, right? They don't need to 2v1 me here. I think the Reaper has a really good chance of pushing me off all on his own. The Mesmer doesn't need to assist. Anyway, so we push up. We take all of our mobility. Good example of Stomp being used there. Not for a stun break, not for stability, but purely just for kite. Or, you know, gap creation. Here we can kill shot from behind. And this is a good example as well of what this build's alright at. When it's fleeing, it's very, very comfortable fleeing, and then it can turn around and suddenly just kill you. We can take the Greatsword F1 here to cleave out all the clones and kill the guy. But he evades, so I go for the weapon swap instead. Oh, actually, hold on. I think I cancel casted my own F1 there, which is pretty bad. This is kind of gross, to be honest. And now we've dropped out of Berserk. The Bull's Rush doesn't land either. It's really, really bad, guys. He should be dead from a long time ago now. Pretty clunky stuff. We take the regular F1, but was blinded in it. No Berserk to cover that. Take the Stomp. Yeah, and then obviously I pushed myself into a 2v1. That's kind of bad. There were at least 2 or 3 opportunities there we could have killed that Mesmer. A bit clunky. Anyway, now that we're back on the board and the head's in the game, the game is over. We're going to win just because we have mid there. I even take the Vengeance for the kill on this, which I do purely because 5 points is 5 points is 5 points. And at this late in the game, we can win purely on kills, you know? So we do that. There's very little risk that I'll rally him, right, with the Vengeance play. And there, if we'd got the Gunflame at the end as well, it would have been kind of nice. Not great, because this guy's been forced off. But if you look at the enemy's close point, our far right now, you'll see that we managed to score our own 2v1 up there, which is another 5 points and the cap of the node. Not to mention close is now flipping as well. So there you go. That's the end of that game. And, you know, I think it really is representative of me making big mistakes that are very, very, very costly. Just pissing about at the gate. If you're in ranked, and especially on a map like this, really keep your head in it, because those gaps can close very quickly. Look, they got up to 400 now, and really it was just because of what I did in the middle. So yeah, anyway, there you go. That's one. This was supposed to be a bit of a mini game, not a really, really long commentary, so we'll just play it through. There you go. Now, let's go to the next one, which I think is really, really fun. Sorry, it's on Coliseum again, but it's got some interesting play to do with the range on the Greatsword F1. There's one particular very cheesy moment. I just want to show you guys the cleave potential of this and how you can, like, score certain kills. So, yeah, we're on Coliseum. We move through. We've got our Thief picking up close, which isn't great, but with our current comp, I think is actually the best way to do things. Assuming this is a support, we got a Hollow, we got a Necro, we got me. We got a pretty meaty goddamn team fight here, really. Not too much pad or sustain in it, to be honest. If I was something slightly different, it would be even better. But having the Thief there, who then can quickly rotate in and snap out some kills. This will be like an example of a team fight where if we win it because we hit hard, right? So, we see what we've got. We're watching quite... You'll notice that I'm quite heavy like this right now. And the reason is because the enemy team comes out of this gate, and if they've identified that we've sent a Thief to our close nodes, a very smart and easy play for them to make is to aggress that Thief, because they, in theory, can debunk it very quickly and even win the 1v1 and tie that engagement up. It would be really nice for them to do that. So, as I come up here, you'll notice quite often I'll be more cagey and more watching... the mid fight and people coming up here. But here, this is really all I'm preoccupied with, because I want to cover, you know, this area here. I want to make sure that no one's crossing. And we seem fine. We're also playing a bit cagily. My guys have gone in hard. There's a Hollow here I'm quite scared of, but has hit my friend instead. I decide that I'm going to snap out this. We get in combat. That Gunflame actually barely did any damage at all, but I think it's because he was in Shroud with Prot and stuff up too. So anyway, we get the kill. Our Deadeye did manage to get the cap completely uncontested. I move in. Our stab from Rampage gets converted to fear, and I don't like it at all. So, because I know there's going to be a pulsing well. So I back out and know that if I'm going to have to back out, I'm going to have to be on rifles. So we come straight back to this. Here we take the F1 through the pillar. And it's not looking very good. The team fight's not gone well. And this is kind of what I was saying. We don't have much pads. So here I'm pulling back. And you might say, well, WP, why are you pulling back? You already own this node. It's because with most of our team dead, the Thief you can't really count as, you know, going to give you too many great pills. I mean, some of them will, but it's rare for them to come over and stealth you and whatnot. Give you endurance, give you Condi Cleanse. So basically, I'm pulling back here because I'm waiting on my respawns, essentially. I need the bulk of my team. And this is a really good position, I think, for me to come to at this point here. And then if any of them, as an individual, aggresses, I can kill them. Like this guy. Pretty silly play of that from me there. Don't think of that as some high skill thing. That could have easily not crit and would have gone a bit gross. I face tanked some stuff there. Here, I don't know. He's in Shroud, so he's got 3 stab, and I can't get through it. I can rifle butt stomp. I can stomp the body out, but it's just very, very deep and very hard, and I don't need to. I actually think overall the greed could have been real here. It really could have. But this is smarter for me because I got 2 sturdy people coming. And watch how they rotate to me as well. They know what's up. They know that this is going on because they're looking at the minimap. So I'm really happy with this because they could have easily... This is the difference, right? Some players let all their movement be dictated by the map. The nodes, the red dots. And so they'll be like, oh, we already have close and we need mid, right, go, they're getting points every second, we got to go. But that's such a bad play right now. They come through, they regroup with me, they support me, then we push the mid node. It's really good. And in doing so, they also defend this. If they just wandered in there, they'd have a fight to do, and I could have died here, collapsed here, and it's, you know, there's not a net gain. So we see that this guy's up, we get ready to dodge. For when he ports in. I dodge early there. Sometimes they'll port in early to bait you, but obviously we're forced to because of the Necro. I'm going to go into Greatsword 3 as well for a second evade at the same time. Like so. And now we come through. The Necro thinks better of it in the end, which I don't like. I think that the Necro thought better of it because he saw the Guardian was coming here. Which is unfortunate. I would have rathered all 3 because now, look at the Necro on his own. The guys that were here can just magically, beautifully, really, very elegant, just turn around straight away, and then they get to hit the Necro who's on his own. If the Necro had stayed with us, it'd be fun. Like, think about this. The Necro's wandered in. What value is he doing here? Nothing, really. He's not going to score any valuable decap. He's not going to soften them up in any margin, in any reasonable way. He's a Reaper, so he can do some things, but it would have been better to engage together, I think. Anyway, so I'm playing a bit cagey. I want to see what's going on exactly. And we get the Necro down with our rifle attacks. Go for the F1. Beautifully, the Thief comes in to the 100 blades and eats 14,000 damage just for daring to come towards it. So, actually, is this what I think it is? This could be a beautiful play here. This is not my good play, okay? This is I don't know whether this is intentional. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's give Boo Boo the benefit of the doubt, okay? So, what have we got going on here? We've got a Guardian ally of ours that's getting jumped by the Thief. And the Thief can kill him. He's low. He doesn't have too much. But the Guardian has done something I quite often struggle with and forget is an opportunity when you're trying to kite away from a Thief or any kind of pressure, to be honest. What he does is to save himself. He doesn't go for a jumping puzzle somewhere. He doesn't go for the kill. What he does is he kites the Thief onto an active engagement over a downstate body. He knows that there's going to be cleave on the body, and he kites onto it because that's going to force the Thief off. This is his best play to defend. So let's see. And giving him the benefit of the doubt, he's cleaving the body. Well, not really. No, it was just accidental. But listen, if that had been happening to the guard over here and he'd actively just walked over, that is 100% the way to save yourself. And, you know, that's just with me, a Berserker, which is kind of a ludicrous build. But if you imagine a bigger team fight engagement where there's like a Firebrand resing a body and there's like a Scourge and a Reaper over the body as well, and you're running away from a Thief, you can go over to that. Yeah, and just because it's such a meat grinder that these builds just can't sustain in, right? Like, look how quickly that guy died. We knocked the body away, did it a bit early. We go for the F1, slightly out of range. Get a good 9k hit here. I know I need Rampage to stop this res anymore. And the Rampage does ridiculous damage too. They stealth, but we know that the stealth doesn't mean he's disappeared completely, so we just keep hitting the Guardian. And there you go. That's mid clear. I don't really want to cap this. I guess I will. Yeah, and so you see we actually managed to wrestle control back on the map there after having lost. So this game right now is we basically lost the opening mid. We pulled away. We knew when to bail out and not die. We regrouped with our friends and won the second mid when the enemy team was a little bit more of a headless chicken. Now we're watching where they're going. I can see that I've got people on fire. I don't know whether I really want to reinforce and push the line fully here. There's a Reaper here. Now, that's some crap, man. I'm telling you now, that's some crap. I was not in range of that. And for some reason, Stomp didn't move me there either. I don't know why. Anyway, so because I'm chilled, he gets a lot of his big hits, his traits and things proccing. And, wow, I just die here. That's so bad. All right, no. I do get away. Yeah, it'd be kind of weird for me to just straight up die to a Reaper like that. He turns around, and it's quite smart for him to turn around because he knows that he could be in a dangerous position. What I would do after this, if he kept following, is hug this wall extremely tightly so he can't hit me with any LOS kind of stuff with his axe. Unfortunately, we don't crit there, which is bad. This guy would be on much less health if we didn't, but he eats the full volley and stuff. There's kind of a subtext to what's going on here right now, by the way. At any moment, this guy can shroud and shroud too. So you kind of get an instinct for the ranges of the things that people deal with. Like, this is a very specific gap. Let's ignore what's just happened here, right? If this guy hadn't appeared, the main risk on my mind right now is the secondary risk is a respawn because I'm in front of their base. But the main thing I'm thinking is he can shroud and then use the gap close. But I have an instinctive understanding of where that range will take him, which is to about here. And then we've got this much gap to avoid the execution of that axe and stuff. So what I'm actually trying to do here is instead, like, because I could have weapon swapped and great sworded in very quickly, but I don't want to do that because I'm trying to maintain, this is the vital gap, this bit here. And you just kind of have a feeling for that. The weapon swap for the greatsword would be to bail the hell out. We get our allied assistance anyway, which means that will never happen. But that's what's going through my mind there. Can you see, like, why am I backpedaling right there? Did you see that? It's because after he dropped off of the crates, I know he can shroud and come straight in on me, right? Also, he's just got assistance, so he might do that. I don't know whether I fully cognitively thought of that in the moment. But that's why I backpedal there, right? It's just for these little things. And anyway, I get jumped by the other guys. Definitely didn't consider that these guys were jumping me. But yeah, so and now my Reaper's kind of out of position. Well, no, so look, the Reaper actually uses, my Reaper used what I was talking about there in a positive way to get towards his line. So anyway, the attempted res here from my Thief, I kind of like the idea. Now, I can Vengeance try and res him, but it was too late, and I was thinking about rampaging and whether I should, and it was just a mess. It was just really bad. I can stomp away and give myself stab and whatnot, yeah, but it was bad timing. I should have helped this guy much earlier. I obviously got cleaved out in the end there, and that's my mistake. I think I apologize in chat as well for that, because yeah, that's one side. I don't play that much Warrior. That's one thing I should think about much quicker when I go down. Say, I mentioned in Season 1, one of my big problems as well with the game that I need to get more, like, instinctive muscle memory or understanding for is when you die, and here is a very important tip, guys, every time you die, always look at the minimap. Especially if you're playing, like, an Airly or something and you can Vapor form for a portal and all that kind of stuff. You always want to do it. So anyway, this guy takes decap, very intelligently leaves because he knows he can't fight into these respawns. We still don't know whether he's interested in 1v1ing me. He may well be, but obviously it would be silly for him at that point. We've still got sides. Good play on far with my Necro you saw managed to kite through the thing that got us killed. So here we see the Elixir S. We know that the NG may be, the Hollow may be going back. Indeed, all the way over here, we actually see... Where did this Necro even come from? Was the Necro hiding behind the crates? What is that? Did he come from over there? I don't know. Anyway, so we kill the Necro. And again, this is mostly just going to be staying on rifle. There's no need to go any further. The NG from a second ago starts appearing, so we start pulling out. This is a nice safe play here for me. And this is all right. Okay, so this is a fun moment as well, because... what this Hollow's thinking is, do I want to 2v1 this? Is this going to be worth it? And quite often they decide no, and I think it's because they see Warrior, and mostly that means Spellbreaker and, you know, long evade and mitigation chains, and they'll probably do well with it. He probably could aggress this. None of my guys are on respawn. But so he's trapped now. He doesn't know what he wants to do. He knows it would be a horrible waste of time if they don't get the kill quickly. And I'm all right with it. So the second I see he starts cutting off, I start moving in, knowing he might turn around again, but then I'll move back again. And I like this, right? So we see he's in Forge, and look, he turns around, and this is a free kill for me in this situation, to be honest with you. So the Reaper, we stomp away. We keep looking back. This guy's got no Photon Forge for a second. We know this. We can rampage in. He gets his shield up, his Photon shield, which is really nice. And he's back into the Forge. All my rampage stuff realistically misses here, which is not very good. Luckily, we're still in rampage on his second Forge. We just create a gap while he's stealthed. We see this, and you can even see the panel. We know he's still coming towards us. We get our adrenaline ready. There's the other one. We dodge. Kill shot. Oh, and now he's interrupted us. Well, here you go. So here you can see. So here I'm getting ruined by a holo there, which is fair play to him. What I should have done is create more gaps. I still think I could have won that, but getting hit by the overcharged shot is nasty. That's a good demonstration of why holo is just better, by the way. That's really unfortunate. Because one more evade, we would have been all right there. It's the overcharged shot, though. I mean, in a weird situation, in a weird way, Stomp is kind of really terrible for that. If I was a Spellbreaker there, for example, it would have been a very simple matter of just pressing F2 at any point during that. And, you know, you can turn it around in lots of ways as well, which is probably the more apt comparison people like to think of, Spellbreaker versus Berserker. Anyway, so a little bit miserable from me there. Luckily, though, they all zerged off after fighting for this, so I can just walk back. I'm looking at my Necro, who's a little bit low. I want to make sure he's safe. I push up. So my hesitation here is because I'm unsure if the Necro is still going to get hounded from over here, like someone could have come through in stealth or something. So that's what the hesitation is. Probably unnecessary here. This guy hasn't noticed he's got a really juicy target till way too late. Here I miss my adrenaline. Always lame when that happens. He's in Shroud, so we don't need to go towards him. So they're the Guardian, I see, and I realize a burst is possible. And then the Guardian just disappears. If you actually look at my camera here, so we'll play it through. I've rewound it a bit too far. But when I see the Guardian, the Necro isn't on screen for me anymore, right? The Necro's, like, not visible, but I still know that he's low, which is why the second this Guardian vanishes, I know immediately to look to the left and be like, oh, okay, yeah, he's obviously on the Necro here. So we break the shield. Obviously, if you break that shield early, you can prevent a lot of the damage. Guardian's super out of position here now. He's using the pillar very well for what it's worth. But what we can do is rampage and not rampage, berserk, and use the greatsword burst through the pillar, which does great damage. And together we go into Shroud at the same time and just completely annihilate this guy. There we can. That was totally unnecessary as a stomp. There we get quite a lot of range on the F1. All I had to do was just pull away and use the F1 the entire time there, to be honest. But so this is good. It's a good game right now as well, right? So you see that we're very close in point score. We score another kill on mid. That had nothing to do with me, obviously. The Elixir S they don't need me to help with. I make sure nobody's crossing because I really don't want that getting neutralized. And here I see. So the Thief was interested in it the whole time. And it's horrible timing there with my Greatsword 3 because it moves me into a weird position. But the idea is get to the node before the Thief can decap. So here you see some of that beautiful warrior mobility. We get there the last seconds. We land the boulder as well. He's still stabbed, so we won't be able to stun him or anything again for a little while. Here is the stolen ability, which this time we counter with the blowout. We heal and get rid of the poison. We want to Gunflame here, but he's running improv, so he gets to do the thing again. So now it's a rifle butt to counter. And we do so. I wasted the volley there, and then we just shoot him a couple of times. So this is beautiful here as well. Look, this guy is using range very well here. He knows that we're right on the edge of range. If I'd started Wing forward a little bit quicker, we would have killed him after he blows all of his initiative there. But I know I've got another opportunity here. Basically, once he spammed all of that, we know he's out of evades and a lot of the stuff he can utilize. We saw his steal earlier. So I can Bull's Rush to close the gap. And then, when we weapon swap, because we're disciplined, we get a little bit more adrenaline, and we will have our F1 available. And I know the range on that F1 quite well now. It's 450, okay? It's quite high. So, that's the play we go for. Bull's Rush, weapon swap. He uses withdraw. We pop the skill. And we pop him down with 10k. And in the moment there, that did feel like it was a really, like, long-range one. And he even says in chat, oh my god. Which I think I go back and agree. Yeah, that was kind of bullshit. I don't know what the range is on local chat, so I walk all the way back to do that. But yeah, we've held this secured double cap now, and this is probably the win for the game now. Had he got that decap, had I not had, you know, a bit of understanding that someone might try that, if we didn't get there in time or whatever, might be a bit of a problem. My team's pushed forwards, which I don't necessarily... So this is a mistake from me, losing mid here, because I went back to talk. If I'd ran forwards, I could have held the node. And so my team pushing up, I really agree with. What they've probably done is they've looked at the map and they've seen, right, we've got a warrior defensively roaming right now. And we can all push forward, and the warrior can push up and watch for crosses, and it's fine. And that makes perfect sense. I let them down, though, by wandering back, which meant that the hollow could decap. And now, as well, with the hollow doing this, I realize the hollow may be coming back to close, so we'll try and take another 1v1 here, which I would now be feeling uneasy about, because I lost the other one. So we go for the cripple and the vuln. It doesn't do anything. We're using the pillar for LOS. We just create as many gaps as possible. Gunflame in from behind. So that's the main thing you don't want to do. You don't want to turn your back on this build. And so now we're like 100% fine. We know that we can kill him here. And again, the Great Sword F1 through the pillar. But he's in Elixir S again, which is super lame. That would have been a kill there. We can stomp him. And then swap for the rifle kill afterwards. We didn't lose the node or anything. And then that's probably the win right there. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm outroing a bit too quickly, but that's game of the day. I may have a couple more of these Berserker builds. And obviously we're rotting this, right? There's no point in killing him too soon. I may have a couple more of these. I don't know how much I'm going to play it, though, going forward. So here, rifle butt. We cleanse. We use the F1 to rip through some shrouds. We tried to get the stomp for the heal there, which would have been really nice. He gets a dodge there. That misses the pillar. But yeah, in general, I might try some other stuff. Here we see that the thief decapped, and we have to turn... So this was actually kind of nice. I was a little bit proud of myself in the moment on this one. While I'm engaged in this fight, okay, I'm actually looking at the minimap while in the fight. And so you'll notice on the minimap... What tips me off that the thief is back there? There's been nothing visually, right? Really? You might have even considered some of them to have given up and been at spawn at this point. But no. How do I know to turn around because of the thief? It's because in the fight, I looked at the minimap and I was like, shit, I'm getting decapped under my own nose. I could have gone a little bit quicker if I was, you know, Super Saiyan about it, but yeah. And that's not something I often excel at. And so, yeah, we scare him off and then we go back for the full cap. But yeah, I may find some other builds. So some of the other things I've tried, I did try an Unravel Elementalist Weaver build. Because Unravel got buffed super hard this patch, but I just cannot find a good application for it at all. I really can't. So that was a bit miserable. I have tried Core Necro. Some people like Core Condi Necro at the moment. Maybe I'll look at. I kind of want to do things that are in line with a new balance, but are still good. And maybe that's my downfall. So, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, there you go, guys. That's game of the day. Thanks very much for watching, and I guess I will see you tomorrow for some new ones.